Hi everyone, here's the vocab list for the midterm, which you have coming up next week. So we're going to start off with a group of verbs that appear primarily or almost exclusively in the PL. So therefore I've included the vowel markings that you would see in the PL form. So our first verb is bikesh, which means to seek. Second is beirach, which means to bless. You notice the vowel markings are a little bit strange for PL for this verb, and that's because the middle letter, the resh, cannot take a dagesh. Remember, that's the distinctive mark of the PL, so therefore that creates other compensating vowel changes within the verb. Gidal, which means to raise or bring up, as you might raise a child. Diber is speak. Hillel means to praise, and you might know the word hallelujah, which is an imperative, plural imperative, so we'll learn imperatives later, but it's from this same root. Kila means to complete or finish. Kisa is cover or conceal. Me'ain means refuse or reject. Mihar means hurry or hasten. Again, we might expect a different vowel under the middle letter, but because hey can't take a dagesh, we have a patak instead. Tsiva means to command. It's the normal word to command, as in to keep a commandment or to command somebody to do something in the army, let's say. And it's from this root that we derive the word mitzvah, which means commandment. So the vowel is formed by adding a mem at the front of this root. Kiddush means to sanctify or consecrate. Kadosh is holy. So when in Isaiah 6, the seraphim are flying around the temple and they say Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. In other words, the Lord is 3 times holy. So it's from this same root. And Sheret, which means to serve or minister. Next we have some verbs that appear almost exclusively in the call, so I'm including the vowel markings for these verbs as well. We have darash, which means to inquire or demand, to seek out. Usually if you're inquiring about the answer to a problem. So this is something the Israelites do with Yahweh. So if they don't know what to do, they seek out Yahweh using this verb oftentimes. Harag is the normal verb for kill. Nachal is inherit, possess, or in the sense of the Israelites coming into the land of Canaan, dispossess the land from the Canaanites. Nata is plant, as in plant a garden. And tsa'ak is cry out, as somebody might cry out in pain. Next we have some verbs that appear primarily or exclusively, I think, in the hifil. And so what I've done for these verbs is show you the root and also show you the third masculine singular form in the hifil for this root. And I think as we go down, you'll see why I did this. And when you get to the midterm, you'll have both these forms on the exam. So all you have to do is look at these two and memorize the definition. So the root yod tav beit and the word heitiv means to do well or to have things go well or to make good or to treat somebody well. So you might Somewhere in there, see the word tov, which means good. So it's from this uh, same root, or kind of the same derivative of the same root. Next we have the root yod shin ayin, and the word Hoshea, which means save. So the word or the name Jesus comes from this root yod shin ayin. So that's why if you go back to the naming story of Jesus, you'll get the description of why they came up with this name. So Hoshea. Next root is Nun, Gimel Dalet, and the Hitfield form is Higid. So you notice the Nun has assimilated, and you're just left with the Gimel and the Dalet, and the Hey, which is a marker of the Hitfield. So Higid means to tell, announce, or narrate. Next root is Nun, Kaf, Hey. Same situation here. In the Hitfield, it's Hika. So the nun assimilates and disappears, and you end up with this hika form, which means to strike, or traditionally smite. So if you know any old King James English, this is the smite word. This is a very annoying root in some respects because the nun is weak, and then if you get suffixes at the end of this verb, the hey is also weak. So sometimes this is called a doubly weak root, in that there are problems at the beginning and at the end of the root. Next root is nun sade lamed, and the Hitfield form is heat seal. Again, the nun has assimilated, and as far as I know, you'll never actually see nun sade lamed in the biblical text. It's always in this Hitfield form, where the nun has assimilated. And heat seal means to save, or to kind of snatch away from danger. Next root is shin chet tav, which equates to heat in the Hitfield form, and it means to destroy or completely ruin. Next we have the root shin lamed kaf, which only appears in the Hitfield, and it's pronounced hishlich, and it means to throw. And it's interesting to think about how this could possibly be causative. We don't have any examples of this root in the call, so um, I don't know if there's some way to think about it, cause to fly through the air or something like that. But anyway, it just means throw, simple verbal action, to throw. Next we have the root resh, beit, he, which means to increase or get greater, and hirba means to make great or to cause something to increase. And finally, we have the little adverb kain, which means thus. And if you want to say yes in modern Hebrew, you say kain. And if you want to say no, you say lo. So these are the ways that you do it. Good luck with studying, and hope everything goes well. If you have any questions, please let me know.